but you didn't expect a video from me anytime soon. Hey, I know. I want to take this YouTube thing seriously, so I want to stay more consistent with my videos. And I actually thought of this movie that I completely forgot existed till I was scrolling Netflix one night looking for Raw, and it said people who watch WWE would like. And it was this movie called The Main Event. And I completely forgot this movie existed. Netflix and WWE nowadays, so it's just surefire thing. Monday Night Raw's on there every week. You know, they have Seth Rollins appearing in other movies as cameos.
Who are you?
I'm Seth freaking Rollins. Burn it down, bitch. I'm the fucking beaver.
Like, that's a common thing now. But when this was announced, WWE was at an all-time low quality-wise. So I just couldn't fathom why Netflix would want to make this movie. I don't know why no one has talked about this, because there is a lot of things in this movie that are worth talking about. This movie rivals Ready to Rumble in corniness, but hey, this one is a kid's movie, and Ready to Rumble was a rated R movie, so I guess there's some leniency for this one. But without further ado, let's get into today's movie, The Main Event. So the movie starts with a dream sequence depicting the main character, his name's Leo, going one-on-one with The Miz in an NXT arena. And I didn't know what was going on. Ends up being a dream sequence, and he's waken up by his grandmother. I thought it was his mother, but come to find out later in the movie, that's his grandma. Leo's grandma is actually played by Tashina Arnold, who plays the mom from Everybody Hates Chris. So that was a nice surprise to see her in the movie. And Leo's dad is played by none other than Wade Whipple.
The flames of disaster!
While trying to wake him up, Leo's grandma puts him in an ankle lock and says,
I read that this is how Xavier Woods gets Kofi out of bed before a big match.
During this opening sequence, we get some shots of Leo's room, which is literally just WWE product placement galore. I'm not going to rag on it too much because I'm the last one to talk, because that's literally what my room was. I had WWE bed sheets, for crying out loud. I slept every night with John Cena and CM Punk on my chest. After getting up out of bed and eating breakfast, Leo heads to school where he meets up with his group of friends. One of the kids asks what they think WWE's big announcement is, and it's actually the same kid who says he wants to be WWE's director and behind the camera. He's already my favorite character. Well, he was my favorite character till he said this.
Well, I think Mr. McMahon would love my ideas.
Ooh, ew, never mind, bro. Stay away from me. Once they get into school, into their lockers, they get confronted by the bullies of the movie. One of them is actually from Cobra Kai, but he ends up being a lackey and not the main one, so yeah, whatever. They're bullying Leo, and they push him down, and a journal falls out of his book bag. Turns out the journal had a drawing as Leo as WWE champion. For some reason, they push Leo down and then count to 3. His shoulders weren't even on the ground. That's not how you even win a match, but whatever, I guess they don't keep up with wrestling, so I guess. We cut to later in the day in the lunchroom where the boys are eating lunch, and they're talking about what's happening on Raw later tonight, and New Day versus the Usos is one of the matches they're talking about. Now, one of the kids says Trouble in Paradise is the best finisher, which, I don't know. Clearly, this kid has never watched a late 90s All Japan Pro Wrestling match with Kenta Kobashi. Okay, all he needs to see is the Burning Hammer once, and that opinion goes out the window. While his friends are yapping, Leo spills spaghetti on himself while looking at his crush. They really want you to know that if you're a wrestling fan in school, you're a loser. It's an accurate depiction. Then for some reason, his bullies catch him again and then start chasing him on bikes. While chasing him on bikes, one does a sick ramp off of something, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
Oh, fuck yeah! This is the shit!
While running away from his bullies, Leo finds an estate sale where he abandons his bike, runs up the house, and hides in the attic. The bullies chase him up there, but they get caught by the realtor, and they get kicked out. While in the attic, Leo finds a long-lost luchador mask that apparently smells like shit. So what does Leo do? He's about to put it on, but the realtor walks in on him. He catches him with the mask, and he says, "Hey, I found it. Can I keep it?" The realtor sees him getting bullied, and he's like, "Fine, you can keep it." He lets Leo go scot-free. When Leo gets home, his grandma says Raw's on, but when she says Raw's on, they show the screen, and it's a clip from SmackDown Live with blue ropes. So, continuity! Continuity already at a horrible all-time low. So, Whatever. In the middle of the broadcast, it cuts to The Miz with the big announcement that the kids were talking about earlier, where there's a big tournament with $50,000 and an NXT contract for the winner in Leo's hometown. Leo and his grandma start going crazy, planning to go to the show. And when they show the screen again, with Becky Lynch from a completely different stage setup. So, continuity-wise, this movie sucks, but, you know, we're only just getting started. I just want to let this be known right now. For this movie, I'm not calling Leo's dad his name in the movie. I'm calling him Wade because I know him as Wade, so I'm going to call him Wade. So Leo's dad, his name is Wade. And we find out in a scene that Leo's mom just left them. Just completely abandoned them. She's not dead. She's just gone.
Rachel leaving was a surprise to all of us.
There are 1,000 things that I would rather do than talk about my wife leaving me for someone else.
So she dipped out on her kid, her man, and her mom.
It's an evil world we live in.
So in the same scene that we find out how Leo's mom left, we find out that Wade is broke, owes $20,000 to the bank, does Lyft while being an absent father, and if he doesn't pay the bank back, he's gonna lose the house. Damn. So crazy trauma dump on me in this children's movie. After hearing this, Leo does the most logical thing a kid can do. He finds the lucha mask and puts it on. But when he puts it on, his voice goes 2 octaves lower and he gets a lot more egotistical and confident.
Ooh, fits perfect. Although, it's almost a crime to hide this studly face from the world. Sorry, ladies.
What was that?
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro.
Then, out of nowhere, he does a triple backflip. Then after landing, his dresser is about to fall on him, but he catches it. Leo does some research about the mask, and he finds out that the powers only work for competitors who are truly deserving of their magic. So they gotta have a kind heart, and they gotta be wrestling for the right reasons. So after this, Leo then goes back to school, and while at his locker, which, can we talk about his locker real quick? He has literally just WWE stickers in his locker, which, I'm sorry, Leo, coming from someone who was in your position literally during this time, I would have believed you too, man. The product was dog shit. You should not have been repping it this hard, man. I'm sorry. But anyways, he sees the bullies that were bullying him and his friends the other day, so he decides to put the mask on, turn off the lights, and beat up his bullies like fucking Batman, turning on the lights and they're all getting hung up by their wedgies by lockers. He's a vigilante! He shouldn't be allowed to wear this in school! After becoming Vengeance, Leo gets sent home and his dad goes and picks him up. So after getting home, Leo then decides he should enter the tournament with his newfound superpowers and win the $50,000, pay off the bank, keep the house, and, you know, try and have a better relationship with his dad. After doing that, there's another montage of Leo deciding what he should wear in the ring. And the one he lands on,
This nigga is trash.
after deciding his fit is fire, which it isn't, he decides to pull up to the tryouts and he puts on the mask, which this is one thing that recurs throughout the movie, which makes zero sense to me. He always goes, ugh, like it stinks when he puts on the mask. Wash the mask. Dude, you've put it on so many times by now. Either wash it or you just like the stink. Okay, man? Like, you've put it on a lot by now. You probably smell like shit. You want to go ask out your crush with your face smelling like shit, man? Like, what are we doing? Either wash it or just be a stinky kid. At the sign-up sheet, the lady asks for Leo's name. And Leo, on the spot, comes up with the name Kid Chaos. While looking for a place to sit, Kid Chaos then runs into Otis from WWE. And Otis doesn't want Kid Chaos to sit next to him, so he says, go away. But Kid Chaos is backed up by Smooth Operator. And no, it's not Penta, it's Keith Lee. Keith Lee's name in this movie is Smooth Operator, and shout out Hang 'em High. I love that dude. Not only is his name Smooth Operator, he sings as well.
Thank you, Miss.
Can you not do that?
After sitting down next to Smooth Operator, The Miz comes out and introduces the competition, saying it's a 3-week-long tournament where the finals are going to take place in a steel cage. But while The Miz is talking, a guy named Samson, who is actually WWE's Dabba-Kato, or whatever gimmick he went under in the 10 years he's been here. And he's not alone. He has a manager named Frankie Albano, which, if that's a shout out to Captain Lou Albano, that's Alright, the movie kind of knows ball, but whatever. Samson just comes here to show that, hey, I'm big and I'm going to win the tournament, so whatever. The tryouts to get into the tournament are actually not matches. They're like the first season of NXT, little games and trials. While doing so, Kid Chaos commits an act of vandalism.
What the fuck?
During another test, where you had to jump from the top rope and just do a move onto a crash mat, Samson goes up onto the first rope, just goes, bah! Then pussies out. So I guess Samson's afraid of heights. When it ends up being Kid Chaos's turn, he ends up jumping from one turnbuckle to another, and not the side to side ones. He jumps from one half of the ring to the complete opposite side of the ring. And they just look at him like, if that happened in real life, everyone would be screaming, who are you? You're not human. What planet do you come from? That's a 20 by 20 ring. He just leaped 20 feet from a bounce. That's an alien. So whenever anyone gets let in, they're allowed to do like a brief little promo to introduce themselves. Kid Chaos then gets led into the tournament, and you know what he does with his time? He just rips off Bret Hart and then throws in his line.
I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Chaos rules!
After the tryout and being led into the tournament, Leo then tries to sneak back into his room. He then gets caught by his grandma, who scares the shit out of him. After being caught red-handed, he just tells his grandma everything. The mask, the powers, why he's in the tournament, and he wants to save the house. His grandma commends him and just says, hey, promise me you'll be careful. So she's with it. W Grandma. We then go to the library where Leo and his friends are talking. Then Leo sees his crush again, and he gets the bright idea to hide behind a bookshelf, put on his mask, and gain the confidence to talk to his crush. He starts smooth talking her, and he even asks her for her number, which she even gives him. After getting her number, he then gives her his number, and she says she'll call him around 4 tomorrow. Then, in any way a man should act when landing a girl's number, he acts appropriately. He does this. Yes. So after doing a double front flip, we then cut to the tournament, the first night of it, where we see all the brackets for every name on this tournament. And let's just go through all these names real quick. We got Steely Sam, Atomic Lightning, Smooth Operator, Brutal Bruno, Lord Copperhead, Stinkface, Kid Chaos, Big Billy Beavers, King Charisma, Rob, Samson, the Slovakian Slammer, Lights Out Leslie, Big Man Pete, Sharif, and The Masterpiece. Half of these names are nicknames from other people. So now we get to see Kid Chaos's first match, which is up against Big Billy Beavers, who happens to be Rick Boogs from WWE. Boogs hits Kid Chaos with a big ending, and he says something that I had to rewind a few times to understand. He also ends up using a lasso on Kid Chaos. How is that not a DQ? But it ends up backfiring on Boogs when Kid Chaos breaks free and he runs on the top rope around the ring, breaking the sound barrier, going at the fucking speed of light to tie him up, and ends up hitting a shooting star elbow drop for the win, moving on into the tournament. The next day, Leo's feeling himself. He wins his first match ever, and he has a phone call with his crush at 4 p.m. But while getting ready for the phone call, she ends up showing up at his crib. So he's like, because he was planning on using the mask over the phone, you know, to build up some confidence. But now, since he can't put on the mask, he's just little old timid Leo. While in the dining room, Leo offers to get her something from the fridge. He goes to put on the mask. When he takes out the mask, the girl says,
What does that smell?
and Leo's grandma actually covers for him by saying,
Oh, that smells me. Never buy perfume off the back of a truck.
W Leo's grandma. Still, Leo, the hoes are saying it stinks. You stink, bro. Wash it. Wash the mask. During the ending of the scene, when Leo finally accepts he can't put on the mask around her, he has a normal conversation with her as normal Leo. And she actually laughs, showing that she likes normal Leo. I mean, kind of doesn't need the mask around her. But enough of that scene. Now, we're going to the best scene in the movie. We're going to Kid Chaos versus Stinkface. Otis burps in Kid Chaos's face. Apparently it stinks so bad it floors him. Stinkface, aka Otis, then goes for the worm. Kid Chaos sees this and he bounces off the rope to escape it, but little did he know what the fuck was coming. Otis then farts. I shit you not, no pun intended. And it's such a fart with such magnitude and ferocity that it shoots Kid Chaos flying back. The fans in the crowd are struggling to breathe because the fart is so dense and heavy. He is holding on to the ropes. He is about to fly away. But while holding on to the ropes, he then shoots back and hits a torpedo Moscow. What? After hitting the torpedo Moscow, Leo beats Otis. And now, the semifinals, where it's Kid Chaos versus Smooth Operator to see who faces Samson in the finals. Alright, so here the movie kind of gets weird in pacing. So, after the match with Stinkface, aka Otis, Leo then has a moment with his dad, where his dad realizes he hasn't been the best dad to Leo, so he tries to bond with him by showing him car stuff, because his dad is really into cars. And Leo doesn't really care about cars. He even says it to his face.
Dad,
Old American.
I'm sorry, but can we maybe do this another time? I'm supposed to meet with my friends at the diner.
After telling his dad that he doesn't care about cars, he asks his dad when is he going to see his mom again. And his dad just says they're going to work it out and it's going to be soon. But he's lying. He hasn't spoken to his mom in months since she left. After leaving his dad, Leo then meets up with his friends and his crush, who are all eating at this diner. His crush then says how she's thinking about doing this talent show, but she's not really sure because she's not confident enough. And Leo, having confidence issues, but he has a mask to put on, he's like, oh, you should do it. You should do it. Actually, I'll do it with you. He offers to do the talent show with his crush. And she says yes. While talking about the talent show, a robbery breaks out the place they're eating at for some fucking reason. And Leo just can't sit back and let this happen. So he decides, he puts on the mask and pelts the robber with ice cream and drags him across the table, just beats his ass, throws him through a window. Then he breaks it to his friends. He, in fact, is Kid Chaos. After finding out their friend is Kid Chaos, they call him Spider-Man, but specifically Miles.
You're like Spider-Man! Miles Morales Spider-Man, not Tom Holland Spider-Man. Or Andrew Garfield. Or Tobey Maguire. Yes, thank you!
But after finding out that Leo will put on the mask to originally talk to Erica, his crush, she then tells him she prefers the real Leo, not Kid Chaos. They then get back to the topic of the talent show. She says he doesn't have to do anything but bust a few moves. Then we get a montage of them dancing and practicing for the talent show. After that montage, we go back to the tournament where we find out if it's going to be Smooth Operator or Kid Chaos facing Samson in the finals in the steel cage for $50,000 and an NXT contract. Before the match, we get a bonding moment between Kid Chaos and Smooth Operator. You know, this is my dream and all. We're friends, but I'm not going to take it easy on you. And Kid Chaos is saying, I'm not going to take it easy on you either. You know, typical guys being dudes. Just Samson and his manager come out to talk shit, and then they wipe wax onto the stairs because they really don't want Kid Chaos to win. They see the momentum he has and they think it's trouble to Samson, so they want to sabotage him because they think Smooth Operator is an easier target. When Kid Chaos comes out, he slips on the wax on the stairs. He's then slipping in the ring. The ref's asking him, are you sure you can go? He's like, yes, I can go. Kid Chaos then gets pounced out of the ring, then back into the ring, but they get squashed. Smooth Operator just squashes this child. He goes to pin, but Kid Chaos kicks out. Then Smooth Criminal ends up doing a backflip onto this child. Like, how are we allowing this? How is WWE allowing? Was there no ID? Later on in this match, Kid Chaos fights his way back. He then picks up Smooth Operator, and with the wax on the bottom of his shoes, ice skates around the ring while holding up Smooth Operator. Drops him down, hits his finish for the 1-2-3. In the finals, it's going to be Samson versus Kid Chaos in a steel cage match. After the match, while the kids are about to be on their way to the talent show, Samson's manager catches Leo unmasking and finding out that Kid Chaos is just a little boy, obviously, and his powers come from that mask. So what does he do? He decides to oil up a plan. After the match with Smooth Operator, there's a press conference between Kid Chaos and Samson. Kid Chaos ends up taking too much time taking photos and pictures for fans and doing tricks for them that he ends up missing the talent show with him and Erica. Erica ends up doing the talent show with one of Leo's friends, who ends up being a secret dancer who's always loved dance but never told him for, I don't know. After the talent show's all over, Leo then finally shows up and he tries to lie to his friends about how they were asking him so many questions and took so much of his time that he literally could not make it here if he tried. They then pull up the video of him doing tricks for everyone and he's like, you got me. Leo then starts being a dick to his friends. He even says,
Sorry that I'm Kid Chaos and you're not.
No. What you are is a jerk.
After saying that, his friends all leave him, and deservedly so. Actually, it's so bad that he goes out. His grandma's nowhere to be found. I think his grandma gave his friends a ride home and just left him. So he goes to get his bike. His bullies then catch him lacking and then destroy his bike. Leo has just had a shitty past 20 minutes. After walking home and dragging his broken bike, he goes up into his room, storms past his grandma and his dad, and his dad tries to go and have another heart-to-heart with him, but Leo just says he wants to be left alone. Leo's grandma then goes in his room after his dad and backs up his dad, saying like, hey, your mom leaving was hard on your father too. Just give him a chance, don't shut him out. Leo then feels bad and he tries to go talk to his dad, but his dad went to go make some more money for the house and went to go lift. The next day, Leo then sees his friends at school and walks up to them and gives them the most half-assed apology I've literally ever seen that his friends somehow fall for. They even end up screaming yes like Bryan Danielson for some reason.
I'm sorry. I was a jerk and you're my best friends. I let all this stuff go to my head. I was stupid. Can you forgive me? Yes! Yes! Yes!
Wait, really?
Yeah.
After saying they forgive him, Leo then offers all of them to come to the tournament finale so they could watch him win the contract. Backstage before the mask in Kid Chaos's locker room, Albano and Samson actually barge in and they're saying, hey, we're not trying to start any trouble. They're just trying to say, let the best man win. Samson says he has to go to the bathroom, but in doing that, he just walks around the locker and steals Kid Chaos's mask and replaces it with a copy that has no powers. So when Kid Chaos comes out and puts on the mask, he won't be able to do shit. For some reason, by the way, Sheamus is the special guest referee. That caught me by surprise. Yeah, I guess Sheamus is a special guest referee in this steel cage match. After Kid Chaos comes out and realizes that the mask he has no powers, Samson then pulls out the real one from his shirt. And he tries to put it on, but his head is too fucking big, so it just doesn't work. After seeing Samson trying to put on the real mask, Kid Chaos does the unthinkable. He takes off the fake mask, unveiling that, oh my god, can you guys believe it? He's just a kid. Who would have thought? After it's literally proven that he's a kid, they're like, okay, let's let this match continue. Let's let this grown 7-foot tall giant be locked in a cage for $50,000 with this child. But historically speaking, a lot worse has happened and WWE have decided to keep the show on the road. So, I can't really say anything. Sheamus seems to be the only sensible guy here, being like, hey man, he's a kid, to chill out on him. Samson then tweaks on Sheamus and beats him up. While watching at home, Wade Whipple sees his son getting beat up by a grown man on TV and decides to speed to the arena to go save his son. While child abuse went on national TV for about another 15 more minutes, Leo's dad finally gets to the arena and he goes ringside. He pushes past that ring. He's like, that's my son in that ring. So earlier in the match, Samson threw the real mask up into the corner of the cage, and Leo tries to go get it. While chasing after him, Samson He gets more scared and scared the higher they go. And Leo's dad is yelling at Leo to use Samson's fear of heights against him. Leo tells Samson to look down. Samson looks down, sees how high they are, and faints because he gets so scared. After Samson falls down, Leo then makes the brave decision that he doesn't need the mask anymore. He grabs the mask and throws it down onto the floor. And then he hits a backflip shooting star elbow drop for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, they then present Leo and his family with a big check for $50,000. And Leo then decides that a child shouldn't be wrestling for WWE. But you know who should be wrestling for WWE? Smooth Operator. He chooses to give his contract to Smooth Operator and just take the $50,000 for him and his family. Smooth Operator's gimmick is basically just Joe Hendry, because after getting told he's getting the contract, he sings thank you again.
I'll never forget this. No one can step to this.
Then, I shit you not, this movie ends with the most Michael Bay Transformers ass ending I've ever seen in my life. Look at this.
Yeah. Let's see.
Overall, is this the worst movie in the world? No. Is it a fun movie to watch while you're under the influence of something? Absolutely, especially if you're a wrestling fan. But as a movie overall, is it good? No. I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to be more consistent with my videos. I've always been inspired by YouTubers like Danny Gonzalez, Drew Gooden, and Curtis Connor with their movie reviews. So I wanted to try that out for this video style. Tell me if you guys liked it or not. And if you guys have any more wrestling movies you guys would want me to review, put them in the comments below. Follow my Instagram, my Twitter, all my socials in the description below. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Take it, sleazy. And I'm out.